You've received all kinds of awards in your life, but how does this one rank?
I would say that tonight's award is pretty meaningful because it's connected to so many meaningful events, and part of my history, a big part of my history, is intertwined with being an advocate for change. So it meant a lot to me because it's not superficial, and yeah.
It was emotional for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. I had to try and stop crying a few times. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because I have a lot of memories that, over the last over 30 years, and fighting for change and being in the trenches. There's I lived through a lot of painful moments and lost a lot of friends, and I kind of said it in the speech. It was not an easy journey, and when you look back and remember those things, and also remember the people that you love that you lost, and wish they were there with you, that sort of thing. Yeah.
It's deeply personal for you, isn't it?
Of course, but I don't know how to not write a deeply personal speech. Unfortunately, maybe.
So many people have talked about the fact that years ago, when no one was supporting the gay community, you were not afraid to do that.
Yep.
Why was that?
Well, again, I touched on this a lot in my speech because I was growing up as a youth in the Midwest and feeling like I didn't fit in. The first person who embraced me and gave me the courage to believe in myself and to be unafraid and to follow my dreams was a gay man, and then when I moved to New York, it was the gay community that embraced everything that I did and embraced the concept and idea of a strong, independent female, which I didn't really experience when I was growing up. So we kind of just forged a bond in a way, and I felt compelled to come to the rescue of the LGBTQ community back in the very beginning because they were always there for me. So
I think a lot of people think of the fact that you've always been such an advocate for the LGBTQ community, and maybe didn't realize that it was so much motivated by the fact that they were there for you.
Yeah, exactly. And like attracts like. Yeah.
They don't give this award out every single year. You're only the second person to ever get it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not a yearly thing. It's a very special award for them.
Okay, well that's nice.
Who
got it before me?
Bill Clinton.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well he's an advocate for change.
That word change, what does that mean to you? What does that say?
Change means there's going to be a battle. There's going to be a fight. It's going to make people uncomfortable. And you have to be ready for it. All the challenges. Change equals challenge, yes.
You've never been afraid of that, have you?
I'd say I'm not afraid of it. I think it's my nature and in my DNA to fight for the underdog, to go against the norm, to defy convention. That's just, I don't know where that came from. It's in my blood. But I think as I've gotten older and I have children, I do think a little bit more before I do things, before I act and speak. But I'm still a baller. That's it. Or what does Anderson call me today? A rabble rouser?
Rebel and a rabble rouser.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Just a little tamer version of it, or?
Well, I don't know if I'm tamer. Talk to my PR people. They're like, no, they'd like me to. I think they'd like me to be a little bit more careful.
The work you do in Malawi, in many ways, is sort of an advancement of the work you were doing with the LGBTQ community, right?
Yes, very similar.
When you saw what was happening there, it sort of reminded you of
bringing light to a dark place where people were not aware of what was going on, the urgency of the situation, the devastation of an entire country. And people like me didn't know what was going on. And growing up as a motherless child and seeing all these children losing their parents and not, having anyone to look after them, it killed me. So I had to do something, just like I had to do something when I first moved to New York. And it's just interesting the way everything comes full circle, like I said in my speech.
You brought in this New Year's Eve at Stonewall.
Yeah.
And this is the 50th anniversary this year of the Stonewall riots.
Yeah.
That was important to you, wasn't it?
Very, very important.
Why is it, what do you want people to think about when we remember what happened at Stonewall?
I want people to think about how far we've come and how it hasn't, I know we've taken a lot of steps back, and a lot of things that we fought for and achieved in the last couple of years seems like things are being taken away from us. But I think it's important for people to remember that there was a time when, being gay was a dangerous thing in America, and back in those days, and you could be arrested, beaten, tortured, abused, killed even, and even for my friend Christopher Flynn, who was, my the first person that I knew was gay that I ever met, and growing up in Michigan, I think about how difficult life must have been for him growing up, to have to hide everything and to not be who you are and to fear for your life and to be bullied it's important for me, that people recognize how far we've come and how lucky we are that we can even have this conversation and speak openly and express ourselves and have this award ceremony and have received this award and be an advocate for change. And as crazy as it is, as things seem to be in our country right now, we still have a lot of freedom, and we should never take that for granted.
Even still today, there's a large number of LGBTQ youth who attempt suicide.
Yeah.
A high murder rate, especially for trans women.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of work to do, isn't there?
Oh my God, yeah. The fight is not over. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking. That's why I'm here. That's why this award means something to me. It's not trivial. It's not superficial. It's not a one-off. It's my life, and it's a fight for my life. And probably yours too.
The song "I Rise" that just came out is being seen as sort of a Stonewall anthem for many people,
yeah.
right?
Yes. It is a very anthemic song, yes.
What does that mean to you?
I rise?
Yeah.
That in spite of all the oppression, in spite of, all the freedom, expression that society as a whole or some individual might try to take away from you. People try to hold you down, stamp you out, make you afraid, intimidate you, no matter what. No one can take your soul, and that you have to find that authentic truth inside of you that keeps you going and helps you rise up. So.
Last thing I wanted to ask, in that room tonight, I feel like you sort of had everyone sort of wrapped around your finger. If there's one
really
message you hope they take away from what you said, what do you hope it is?
To never give up hope. Yeah. To never give up. No matter what.